Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiancé. Jasmine confesses her love for Gino in an emotional conversation. 90 Day Fiancé star Jasmine Pineda just flipped the script again. It was with a tearful confession that caught Gino Palazzolo off guard. She confessed her feelings and talked about being in love with her husband. But that's not all. The celeb isn't taking a step back, and she's making the last dive to save her marriage. Jasmine claims she still wants Gino as her husband and has some shocking confessions to make. The latter was clearly in disbelief, with some serious questions to ask. What is this all about? What did Jasmine reveal? Will they reconcile? Keep on reading to learn more about this controversy. 90 Day Fiancé star Jasmine Pineda is done explaining herself and has finally returned to her homeland with Matt and Maddie. She recently took to Instagram and shared many beach pictures. Pineda added her location as Panama while she was soaking up the sun with Matt. The celeb asked her audience in the caption to watch the show and witness her unbothered, unfiltered, and finally choosing me. Jasmine further talked about how fairy tales usually don't come with gaslighting in her caption. She claimed that she was going to write her own end. All of this made it clear that Jasmine was no longer holding on to things, and she had clearly moved on in her life. But this doesn't mean that she didn't try to express herself, because the latest episode did feature her raw feelings. 90 Day Fiancé star Gino Palazzolo has already brought the idea of having a divorce on the table with Jasmine Pineda. He revealed that he had moved on with Natalie and even traveled all the way to Las Vegas to meet her. But this doesn't mean that Pineda was going to give up on her marriage, as she decided to have a confrontation with Gino. During a recent episode, Jasmine and Gino were talking after the latter's cousin told him that his wife still had feelings for him. This is when Pineda finally talked her heart out. She explained that she never really speaks negatively about Gino, and her feelings for him haven't changed yet. She added, "I never stopped loving you, Gino." Pineda explained that even if she wants to hate Gino, she can never really do that. The latter also recalled all the moments that they spent together where they were actually happy. Palazzolo recalled us walking by the river, us going and working out. He admitted that he still had good memories in his head, and letting go of all this was really hard. Gino noted, "It's like maybe there is something little that's still there, between us." He also believes that there is a little spot of love, but the celeb is convinced that Pineda cheated on him with Matt Brownies and isn't ready to think otherwise. What do you think? Do let us know in the comments section. The tension in the room was almost tangible as Jasmine sat across from Gino, her fingers nervously tracing the rim of her coffee cup. For weeks, fans of 90 Day Fiancé had watched their roller coaster relationship unfold. Every high, every low, every fiery exchange that had viewers glued to their screens. But on this particular night, there was a stillness, a calm before an emotional storm that would soon leave even the most skeptical viewers reaching for tissues. Jasmine Pineda had been known for her passionate personality, her sharp wit, and at times her fiery temper. Her love story with Gino Palazzolo was anything but conventional. Yet the two had shared countless moments of vulnerability and raw emotion that made them one of the most talked about couples in franchise history. Tonight, however, Jasmine was preparing to share something she had never fully expressed before. A quiet moment before the storm. Gino, ever the picture of awkward yet endearing energy, adjusted his signature baseball cap and glanced nervously at Jasmine. His fingers fidgeted on the table, and his voice wavered slightly when he finally spoke. "Jasmine, you've been quiet all night. Is everything okay?" he asked, his Michigan accent soft but tinged with worry. Jasmine looked up at him, her eyes shimmering with unspoken emotion. She took a deep breath, her chest rising and falling as if summoning the courage to leap into emotional, unknown territory. "Gino, I need to tell you something. And I need you to listen, really listen," she said, her voice breaking slightly on the last word. The cameras zoomed in just enough to capture Gino's expression, part nervousness, part curiosity. Jasmine's walls begin to crumble. For much of their journey, Jasmine had been fiercely protective of her heart. Past betrayals and heartbreaks had built walls so high even Gino, with all his awkward but unwavering devotion, often struggled to climb them. Yet tonight those walls trembled. "When I first met you," she began softly, "I thought you were different. And honestly, I wasn't sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing. You were so shy, so careful, and sometimes you drove me crazy with how reserved you were." Gino chuckled nervously, rubbing the back of his neck. "Yeah, I guess I'm not exactly the wild, romantic type, huh?" Jasmine smiled faintly, but her eyes brimmed with tears. "No, you're not. And maybe that's why I love you." The room fell silent. Even the faint hum of the air conditioner seemed to pause, as if giving space to her confession. An emotional confession. For a moment, Gino simply stared at her, his mouth slightly agape. "Wait, you love me?" he asked softly, almost like he didn't trust his own ears. "Yes," Jasmine whispered, her voice trembling. "I love you, Gino. I've been so scared to say it, because love has hurt me before. I built these walls to protect myself, to keep from feeling this kind of pain again. But with you, I can't hold back anymore." Tears welled in her eyes, and for once, Jasmine didn't try to stop them. She let them fall freely, her vulnerability shining through in a way fans had rarely seen. "You make me feel safe, even when you frustrate me. You make me feel like I'm worth something more than just appearances or expectations. Gino, I love you with everything I have." Gino's eyes softened, and a single tear slipped down his cheek, a rare sight that had viewers crying along with him in their living rooms. Gino's response. Gino took a deep breath and reached across the table, gently taking Jasmine's trembling hands in his own. "Jasmine, I love you too. I've loved you for so long, even when we fought, even when I didn't know how to show it. I know I'm not perfect," he paused, chuckling softly. "Far from it. But you are the best thing that has ever happened to me." He lifted her hand and kissed it tenderly, his gesture simple but profound. "I promise you I'm not going anywhere." Fans react worldwide. As the episode aired, social media lit up like wildfire. Tweets poured in, TikTok edits were made within hours, and Instagram flooded with emotional fan reactions. Jasmine finally told him, "She loves him. My heart can't handle this hashtag 90-day fiancé." I've been screaming at my TV for weeks waiting for Jasmine to say it, and OMG, she did it. That was the most genuine moment in the show this season. Jasmine and Gino for the win. The couple, often criticized for their explosive arguments and dramatic outbursts, had shown a softer, more human side. In one vulnerable moment, they reminded viewers why they tuned in week after week, not just for drama, but for those rare, beautiful glimpses of real love in progress. What this means for Jasmine and Gino. While fans celebrated the romantic milestone, some couldn't help but wonder what this meant for the couple's future. Would this emotional confession mark a turning point, leading them toward a smoother path? Or would their fiery personalities continue to clash, testing the strength of their bond? Insiders hinted that the emotional scene had a lasting impact. "That moment was a breakthrough for Jasmine," said a source close to production. She had been holding back a lot, not just from Gino, but from herself. Saying, "I love you" wasn't just about Gino. It was about finally letting herself feel love again. Gino, for his part, reportedly felt more connected to Jasmine than ever before. It was the first time he felt like she fully trusted him with her heart, the insider added. A moment for the history books. The 90-Day Fiancé franchise has delivered countless unforgettable moments. Weddings, breakups, dramatic confrontations. But Jasmine's heartfelt confession to Gino instantly became one of the season's defining scenes. It was raw, emotional, and deeply human. Love stories on reality TV are often messy, unpredictable, and sometimes exaggerated for entertainment value. But what made this moment resonate was its authenticity. For all their quirks, flaws, and conflicts, Jasmine and Gino proved that real love isn't perfect. It's patient, it's vulnerable, and sometimes it takes a camera crew and millions of viewers to finally say the words out loud. As the credits rolled, fans were left with a renewed sense of hope, not just for Jasmine and Gino, but for the idea that love, even when messy and complicated, is worth fighting for. And somewhere in Michigan, Gino probably adjusted his cap, smiled at his phone, and whispered the words Jasmine had longed to hear back. I love you too.